Could this simple, tiny coin be worth a small fortune? You might have seen one of these pennies countless times without ever stopping to consider its true value. But what if I told you that your pocket change could hold hidden historical significance, and even some serious cash value? Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1980 United States 1-cent coin, a piece of history that might just be worth more than a single cent. The United States penny has a long, rich history. It's one of the first coins to ever be produced by the U.S. Mint, with roots going all the way back to 1793. Over the centuries, the 1-cent coin has gone through multiple changes in design, composition, and manufacturing. But despite these changes, it has retained a special place in American culture and currency. Each penny design tells a story, from the first, flowing hair designs of the 18th century to the current Lincoln design that we know today. The Lincoln penny, as we know it now, first appeared in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Its design, crafted by Victor David Brenner, has become iconic, making it one of the most recognized coins in U.S. history. And though the design has had only slight adjustments since 1909, certain years stand out as unique, like the year 1980. So, why the year 1980? At first glance, a 1980 penny might not seem special, but in the world of numismatics, or coin collecting, certain coins are valued for various reasons, such as mint errors, low mintage numbers, or unique compositions. First, let's talk about the composition. In 1980, pennies were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the last years before the U.S. Mint transitioned to mostly zinc pennies in 1982 due to rising copper prices. A 1980 penny weighs around 3.11 grams, making it heavier and more valuable in terms of copper content alone compared to modern pennies. Why does this matter? Well, with the increase in copper prices, some of these pennies are worth more than a penny just because of their metal content. While it's technically illegal to melt down pennies for their metal value, collectors still prize these coins for their copper. Another reason why the 1980 penny is significant is due to minting errors. In the coin world, an error can make a common coin incredibly valuable. Let's go over some of the famous mint errors and variants you might find in a 1980 penny. One of the most sought-after errors is the double die penny, where the design appears doubled due to a misalignment during the minting process. If you happen to come across a 1980 penny with doubling on the date or on Lincoln's profile, you could be holding onto a valuable collector's item. Double die pennies can fetch anywhere from $10 to even a few $100s, depending on the severity of the doubling. Another fascinating error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet, or coin blank, isn't perfectly aligned with the die during minting, resulting in a coin that's noticeably off-center. Some off-center 1980 pennies sell for anywhere from $5 to $50, depending on how much of the design is missing. The rarer the error, the more valuable the coin. Mint marks can also make a difference in the value of your 1980 penny. During this period, pennies were produced at 3 primary U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. 1980 mint locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; San Francisco, S**. A penny minted in Philadelphia will have no mint mark, a penny from Denver will show a small d, and a penny from San Francisco will bear an S. San Francisco pennies were produced primarily as proof coins, which are made with a special process to give them a sharper design and shinier appearance. A proof coin from 1980 could be worth significantly more than a regular circulated penny, sometimes up to $5 or $10, especially if it's in pristine condition. So, how much is a 1980 penny worth today? Well, in general, a regular, circulated 1980 penny without any errors is still just worth 1 cent. However, the copper content alone can make it worth keeping, as its intrinsic metal value is actually more than 1 cent. But if you have an uncirculated 1980 penny in top-notch condition, say, one that's been stored carefully in a collection, you could see values ranging from 50 cents up to $2. Proof pennies, as we mentioned, can go for even more. And those rare error coins? Depending on the error, a single 1980 penny could fetch anywhere from $10 to hundreds of dollars among collectors. So, what makes the 1980 penny so collectible? First, there's its copper content. Next, the potential for rare mint errors. Finally, it's the nostalgia factor. Many collectors love pennies from this era for their unique history as some of the last primarily copper pennies. Collecting pennies is a journey through American history, and the 1980 penny holds a special chapter in that story. You might have a valuable coin right in your pocket. If you're looking to start or expand your collection, consider sorting through your spare change or asking friends and family if they have any old coins lying around. When you find a 1980 penny, it's a good idea to keep it in a protective coin holder to preserve its condition. So next time you come across a penny, don't just toss it aside. Check the date. Look for those tiny details. You might have a piece of history in your hands, and perhaps even a valuable one at that. Don't forget to subscribe for more coin collecting tips and fascinating numismatic history. Like this video if you found it helpful, and share it with fellow treasure hunters. This script will guide viewers through the story of the 1980 penny in a way that's educational, entertaining, and engaging for collectors and casual viewers alike. 1 cent. Just a single penny. Most people wouldn't even give it a second thought. But what if I told you that a particular penny from 1984 could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars? Today, we're going on a journey through the life of the 1984 United States 1-cent coin, discovering its origins, its incredible worth, and why collectors are going crazy for this little copper coin. So, what makes the 1984 1-cent coin so special? After all, it's a penny, a coin that has barely changed in size or color for over a century. Well, let's start by diving into the history of the penny itself. This tiny piece of copper has traveled through American history, evolving from a simple denomination to an iconic symbol. The penny, or 1-cent coin, has been a part of U.S. currency since 1793. That's over 230 years of history. And while the penny might seem insignificant, it's one of the few denominations to have a lasting design, the face of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's face first appeared on the penny in 1909, in celebration of his 100th birthday, and it's been there ever since. The 1984 penny is no exception, it features Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse, or heads, side of the coin. The reverse side, up until 2008, had the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., making it one of the most recognizable coins in the world. Now, let's take a closer look at the 1984 penny itself. Made from copper-plated zinc, this penny was minted as part of the transition from pure copper pennies, which had become too costly to produce. The U.S. Mint had to find an alternative, and by the early 1980s, they settled on the copper-plated zinc mixture. This composition made the penny cheaper to produce, but also added a unique touch that would become important to collectors. You see, the shift to zinc changed how these coins wore over time. While they looked similar, pennies from 1982 and beyond were lighter, making them easy to distinguish for collectors. But what really makes the 1984 penny valuable isn't its materials or even its history. It's an error. That's right, this 1-cent coin was produced with a rare and intriguing flaw known as the 1984 double die obverse. This isn't just any ordinary penny error, either. On a select few of these pennies, you can spot a doubling in the lettering of the word liberty and, in some cases, around Lincoln's ear. Known as doubling, this happens when the die shifts slightly between strikes, creating a second, faint image. It's like a ghostly outline that shouldn't be there, but for collectors, it's pure gold. So, here's where things get exciting. How much can a 1984 1-cent coin be worth? Well, this depends on the condition, rarity, and of course, whether or not it has that iconic double die error. Let's break it down. For a regular, non-error 1984 penny, it's usually worth just a cent or two, maybe a few dollars if it's in pristine uncirculated condition. However, if your penny has the double die obverse error, you're looking at a whole different story. In excellent, high-grade condition, these error coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. That's right, collectors and numismatists, people who study and collect coins, are willing to pay a premium for this coin because of its rarity and the fascination with such a unique error. In fact, some of the best preserved 1984 double die pennies have fetched over $2,000 in auctions. It's amazing to think that a simple mistake at the mint could turn a 1-cent coin into a collectible treasure. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1984 penny has this rare doubling? Well, it takes a keen eye, but here are a few tips. First, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the word Liberty. If you see a doubling effect, you may have hit the jackpot. Another common spot for this error is Lincoln's ear. Look for any extra outlines or shadows. These small details are what make the double die error stand out. But why would anyone pay so much for an error? The answer is simple: rarity and demand. Collectors love errors because they're rare glimpses into the coin-making process. They're like hidden secrets that shouldn't exist, and each one tells a story about how the US Mint operates. Plus, there's something thrilling about finding one of these pennies in your change or hidden in a jar of old coins. It's the idea that something so small, something we see every day, can suddenly be worth so much. If you're intrigued by the 1984 double die penny, there are other fascinating error coins out there. Some famous examples include the 1955 double die penny, the 1972 double die penny, and the 1995 double die penny. Each of these is famous among collectors and is worth a pretty penny, pun intended. So, there you have it. The 1984 1-cent coin isn't just another penny. It's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and for some lucky finders, a little jackpot. Next time you come across some spare change, don't ignore those pennies. Who knows, you might have a small fortune hiding right in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more fascinating coin stories, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny in your change. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. This script has a narrative flow that dives into the history, rarity, and collector value of the 1984 1-cent coin. Let me know if you'd like any other sections added or a specific twist to enhance viewer engagement. Today, we're diving into the story behind a coin that's small but mighty, the 2001 Lincoln cent. It might just be worth more than a penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. But there's more to it than meets the eye. Stick around, because we'll talk about its unique history, design, and the rare errors that could make your 2001 penny worth a lot more than 1 cent. To understand why this little coin has so much intrigue, let's start with a quick trip through the history of the Lincoln cent. Introduced back in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent was the first American coin to feature a real person. Before this, U.S. coins featured symbols like Lady Liberty. But President Theodore Roosevelt wanted to honor Lincoln, and thus, the Lincoln cent was born. That first penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, had wheat stalks on the reverse and quickly became known as the wheat cent. This design stayed until 1959, when it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that stayed for 50 years, all the way to 2008. The 2001 penny we're talking about today belongs to that Lincoln Memorial series and represents a long line of American coin history. So, why is the 2001 penny special? Well, let's break it down. This 1-cent coin was minted in Denver, which is indicated by the D mint mark under the year. The Denver Mint is one of 4 major mints in the U.S., and it's known for producing a large quantity of coins. In 2001, the Denver Mint struck over 5 billion of these pennies. Yes, billion with a B. That makes the 2001 penny a common coin, but that doesn't mean it's worthless. Many collectors look for unique variations and errors that could increase its value significantly. Let's look at the design. On the front, or obverse, we see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, with "In God We Trust" above Lincoln, Liberty on his left, and the date 2001 on the right with the D mint mark underneath. On the reverse, we have the classic image of the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design includes United States of America on top, E pluribus unum, the memorial, and 1 cent below. And fun fact, if you look really close, you can see a tiny statue of Lincoln between the columns of the memorial. A small detail, but very cool. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: is your 2001 penny worth more than a cent? For most of these pennies, the answer is no, especially if they're worn or in circulated condition. But, if you have one in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth a few dollars to the right collector. Collectors look for high-grade, uncirculated examples rated by coin grading services. If your penny grades MS 65, Mint State 65, or higher, it could sell for $5 or even more. While this doesn't make anyone rich, it's a big leap from 1 cent. Alright, now for the really interesting stuff, error coins and unique variations. Coin errors happen during the minting process, and collectors are crazy about them because they're rare and often valuable. Some common errors to look for on 2001 pennies include: this is when the design appears doubled, often on Lincoln's face, date, or lettering. These errors can fetch anywhere from $10 to over $50 depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling. If the coin was struck off-center, part of the design may be missing, giving it a unique look. Off-center strikes can range in value depending on how far off the design is, sometimes reaching $20 or more. Occasionally, coins are produced with a small piece clipped off. Though rare, these clipped pennies can be worth around $10 to $15 to collectors. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if my 2001 penny is valuable? First, look for signs of wear. If it's heavily circulated, it's likely worth just a penny. But if it's shiny and uncirculated, you might have something interesting. Using a magnifying glass, examine it closely for doubling, mint errors, or unique variations. You can also use online coin valuation sites or even send it to a coin grading service for an official appraisal. And don't forget, your local coin shop might be able to help too. Believe it or not, some high-quality, error 2001 pennies have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction. For example, a perfect mint state grade with a rare error could make your 2001 penny worth more than pocket change. These high-quality coins are rare, but collectors are willing to pay big bucks for them. So, is your 2001 penny worth more than 1 cent? Maybe. While most are worth face value, there are hidden gems out there. Uncirculated examples and rare errors can be worth several dollars, and in rare cases, much more. So, next time you come across a penny in your change, take a closer look. You might just have a valuable piece of history in your hand. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin videos, and let us know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny. Until next time, keep collecting and happy hunting. This script incorporates interesting visuals, historical context, and practical advice on determining value. Let me know if you need more on any section or would like to add specific visuals or statistics. Today, we're diving deep into the story behind the 2003 Lincoln cent, minted in Denver, Colorado. On the surface, it may look like just another penny. But stay with us, because there's more to this little coin than meets the eye. We'll explore its design, its unique history, and why some of these coins are actually worth more than a penny in today's market. Let's start by looking at the design. The 2003 penny features the well-known Lincoln portrait, which has been a fixture of American coinage since 1909. The coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person on its face. On the reverse, we see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was designed by Frank Casparo and has appeared on the penny from 1959 to 2008. For many collectors, this is a reminder of an era when the Lincoln Memorial design was common in circulation. But not all 2003 pennies are created equal, and the differences can mean a lot in terms of value. So why the D mark? The 2003 penny was minted in Denver, one of two mints producing pennies for circulation in 2003. The other mint was in Philadelphia, which produced the 2003 penny. In 2003, the Denver Mint produced over 3.5 billion pennies. That's a massive number. With so many coins in circulation, one might think that this penny wouldn't be worth much. But even in such large quantities, the 2003 penny has its own interesting story in the world of coin collecting. To really understand the 2003 penny, we need to look at the broader history of the Lincoln cent. First issued in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, this coin has seen several design updates, including the shift from the original wheat ears reverse to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959. The year 2003 was part of the era where these coins still contained a core of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating, giving them that shiny appearance. But beyond the materials, what makes this year and this penny special? It's all about condition and scarcity. Now, let's talk about grading. Coin collectors and appraisers use a scale from 1 to 70, called the Sheldon scale, to grade coins. Pennies from 2003 that are in perfect, mint state condition, that means, no visible scratches or wear and tear, can fetch higher values. A perfectly preserved 2003 penny graded MS68 or higher can be worth significantly more than one in circulated condition. Another factor. Errors. Errors occur during the minting process and make some coins rare. Off-center strikes, double dies, or misaligned letters can increase a penny's value dramatically. These error coins are rare and can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars to the right buyer. So, what's the real market value of a 2003 penny? In general, circulated 2003 pennies are worth face value, but certain high-grade specimens have sold at auctions for over $100. The highest recorded sale of a 2003 penny was for over $500, an amazing price for a coin that originally cost just 1 cent to make. But why would someone pay that much for a penny? Collectors value condition, rarity, and historical significance. If a 2003 penny is rare due to a minting error, or if it's in almost flawless condition, it becomes a prized addition to a collection. If you have a 2003 penny, here's how to check its potential value. First, examine the coin closely with a magnifying glass. Look for any signs of errors like doubled letters, die cracks, or unusual wear. Even small imperfections can add to a coin's rarity. Next, consider the coin's condition. A coin with minimal wear is always worth more. Once you think you have a potentially valuable penny, consider taking it to a professional coin grader or appraiser. They can give you an official grade, which is essential if you want to sell it at auction. For many collectors, the true value of a coin like the 2003 penny isn't just in its monetary worth. It's a piece of history. It connects us to an era and a legacy that reaches back over 100 years, to when Abraham Lincoln himself first became a symbol of unity and resilience for the United States. The 2003 penny is more than a tiny piece of copper-plated zinc. It's a reminder of craftsmanship, of American history, and the enduring story of Lincoln himself. So, whether your 2003 penny ends up being worth just 1 cent or $100, remember, every coin tells a story. And who knows? Your penny could be hiding a little treasure. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the 2003 Lincoln cent. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the world of coin collecting. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Do you have any rare pennies in your collection? Let us know. See you next time. This script provides an engaging journey through the history, value, and appeal of the 2003 penny, offering insight for both beginner and seasoned collectors alike.